want to say the wrong stuff. My mama watching this and stuff. I don't know.
Is your mom watching?
Probably. She watched everything. Mark got this woman on everything. I was like, Mom, chill. Oh, way up there. Why don't you read a book or something? God, too much.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and this is the Love Project, where we discuss all things love, the love of God, the love in family dynamics, the love in friendship, the love in marriage and relationships, and all things in between. If you are new here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead and join the Love Squad. Listen, I'm excited about doing this part 2, and we're going to jump right in. Welcome back to the pod, the Love Project. Willie and my honey, Marcus. Y'all welcome back.
Thank you for having us.
So as you know, this is part 2 of how a man think, right? A man's perspective or point of view. So we're going to jump right in. These are questions that were submitted via email and text message based on our previous conversation. And the ladies, they got questions. And I hope y'all got some answers for them.
We got some answers. This is Man Talk 2.0.
2.0. We back. All right. So let's jump straight in. The women want to know, do men have a roster of women that they send the same good morning text to? I'm going to take that as a yes.
Well, they absolutely do. They absolutely do.
So when we say roster, what that number kind of look like?
I mean, it depends on the guy. You know what I mean? Probably like 3 to 5.
Okay. What you say, Mr. DeShields?
So, I never really had a roster like that. So, most of the time I was dealing like with one woman. Now, have I used the same lines? Yes. But most of the time I try to find something, a name or something, a nickname in between that I actually make them unique along the way. So, it's not always this. It'd be like something that clicks that we'll find in common.
All right, because the girls is tired. They said that they're getting these text messages, good morning, beautiful, and it has no substance.
But they don't feel beautiful?
I don't think it's that. I think that the men are jumping out the gate with these false affections for women. So it's like if a man just got your number a couple days ago and he kind of like, how you doing, sweetheart, and all that, then you know it's not from a pure place. It just seemed like that's the way they talk to women in general. So I think that's kind of the thought behind it.
I mean, it could be genuine though. Like, but you'll see the difference whether they keep doing it or whether they stop doing it along the way.
That's true.
Yeah, because sometimes a man want to come in kind of soft. So it's not necessarily it's always game. They just kind of want to have some soft way to enter, and hopefully the woman be receptive to it.
And it's a good icebreaker.
All right, that's a good perspective. So, all right, that's why we got questions, because y'all got answers. So, let's talk about like just expectations, I guess. So how do men feel about roles in relationship, and what would you expect your woman to do, or how do you expect her to be in relationships?
Well, me personally, I don't want my wife to work. I want to, she can have the, now if she wants to work, then she can work, but I would rather her stay home with the kids, and I go off and make the money and stuff like that. I'm that type of guy.
You're traditional.
Very. We're going to get into that though, one of these questions.
So yeah, you prefer a more traditional household. And I mean, in society we kind of gotten far away from that, only because most of the time household need 2 incomes these days. So Yeah, that's good to hear, Willie. What you gotta say, honey?
I think it should be a discussion. I mean, I think there are some things that should be kind of, I mean, maybe gendered, role genders, but even in those, they can be switched up. Like, um, you might be tired of washing the dishes or cooking, and and I ain't gonna necessarily say, "Oh, babe, you gotta wash the dishes all the time. You gotta cook all the time." Um, so it's certain things that you gotta kind of talk about, and you might be able to switch it up. I'm not necessarily a traditionalist. I'm more of a what's gonna make our household work at a time. So we talk about a lot of different things on what roles that we expect. You expect me to take out the trash. You expect me to pump the gas and stuff like that. So that's my role. Most time that never switches up. So it's like those are kind of the things that I think about conversation. So
Yeah. So some things are more concrete. Other things you can kind of bounce around.
yeah.
Yeah. So what about the working situation? Because I mean, Willie want his wife to be at home. You want to be barefoot too?
That's
Barefoot and pregnant?
barefooted. No, I mean, no, I just feel like the house is more so her domain. You know what I mean? And whatever, like if she want, however she want to decorate it, however she want to, that's her domain.
Okay.
You know, working is my job. I'm a provider.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's got to be some kind of structure.
Yeah. So I can understand that because I know even when I bought this house and I was putting it together, I thought I did a good job, but it was a point I was like, man, this house needs a woman's touch. It got to the point where I literally was like, God, I can't go no further. So I do understand. The working part, I'm up in the air.
Okay. But I do agree. You got to do what work for you. But I think it's nice to have the option to kind of go back to tradition, right? When you talk about the man outside working, providing, and the woman being at least having the freedom to be able to manage the house.
Exactly.
So I do think that's important. All right. So, women with children. So, are women with a child or children considered less valuable, less desirable? Oh, Lord.
you want
You want to start off?
Yeah, you can start it.
I'm not gonna say less valuable. I think the situations may either give a guy a perception. So if you got multiple baby daddies that may come off as like you're just open to allowing a lot of people give you seed and birthing, and especially if they're not around in their children's life, that says it's more about decision making. In that case, it's not. So I'm not saying nobody's less valuable, but when you're trying to get in a relationship, you have the perception of value. So some men gonna say, "All right, I'm with it," but are they committed to the long term? So some men gonna be like, "Oh, well, she got multiple baby daddies. I'm gonna be in it to hit it and get out of it." So. So you gotta be careful in those situations of the decision. But I will say this: I feel like for me, it was always more about the situation with the other parent, with the dad. What's y'all relationship like? How y'all communicating? Because I didn't want to be in a situation where I'm either trying to fight somebody, always in arguments, breaking up. Situation between the woman and the baby daddy. That was I need peace. So if I had peace, I could go into it where I can make it work with a woman with a child. But with that not having that peace, nah, I'm good.
Well, I'm gonna agree with everything that he just said, and I'm gonna say, women. It's not that piggybacking off him. It's not the less value thing, but you got to look at it from a man's point of view and how he's looking at it. Like, say me, I don't have any kids.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get with a woman with, let's just say she got 2 kids or 3, I'm going from taking care of just me
Mm-hmm.
to now I have to take care of 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big leap.
It is. Mm.
If I don't have the income to manage all that, I'm going to drive myself crazy.
Mm. That's good.
So it's not that she's less value. It's we're looking at this from a long haul standpoint. We're looking at this for forever. So I'm going to have to take care of this. And boy, if I want some more of my own, now say I want 2. That 4 is now 6.
Yeah.
So that's why the value, well, not the value, but it lessens the chance because that's how men are looking at it.
That's good. That's very, very good insight.
Just piggyback off of what he just said, especially if you're a responsible man and you seeing vision.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, because you're not just thinking, you thinking long term and what we gonna build and stuff like that. That you gotta take all of that into consideration. And the thing is, a woman may look at that different, but a man is more of a visionary. Well, should be a visionary, especially when it comes to the family.
Gotcha.
More logic.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good, y'all. So what lets a man know that a woman is his potential wife or have the potential to be lifelong?
I think that answer is different for every man. Whatever that man, you know what I mean? Whatever that man needs. I seen one of your videos where Trish, he said something, whatever that man needs is, and that's a very true statement.
Okay.
So I feel like that varies. But for me, I can answer for myself. I'm going to need somebody that's kind of submissive, but not, when I say submissive, I don't mean submissive as in do whatever I say. That's not submissive. Submissive is cooperation. You know what I mean? That's going to follow my lead or, and give her input too, but you know what I'm saying, just follow the lead and trust me. You know what I mean? Trust me to lead us to wherever we going.
Gotcha.
So I can't have somebody that's, always
Bucking the system.
yeah, like bucking, like, look, come on, man, let's do what works. You know what I mean? A lot of times, a lot of women, they like to change up the process. Like, why are we changing this? This is working.
Right. That's good. So before you answer, babe, what are some of those qualities you feel like that type of woman would have that you would kind of be able to kind of pinpoint just in conversation how she carry herself?
First of all, it's not gonna be a combative conversation all the time. She listens to understand, not listen to criticize or listen to go against. You know what I'm saying? Having a conversation with her is very different. She know how to soothe you. You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference.
Okay.
Somebody can encourage you or support you in a very negative or wrong way. But a traditional woman, she know how to, I don't know, she just make you feel different. Like, even when she trying to tell you to do something one way, she know how to swing it, you know what I'm saying? She know how to talk to you and soothe it in there, not just combative.
She know how to present it.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
She know how to present it.
What you got, Mr. DeShields?
Just before I even answer the question, women, you gotta learn how to stroke the man's ego without like it's a way to massage, and it would get you very, very far.
Won't it though?
The Bible tell you it's better to catch bees with honey. You catch bees with honey.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but for me, it's always been about a conversation. So you can look good, all that. When you open your mouth, I'm asking these questions, and I'm trying to see where it's at. And then you, nah, this ain't it. And I've done it a couple times. Like, be like, dang, man, she's pretty. But that prettiness never really catch it. It'll draw you in. That conversation is always what has done it for me. So, even my wife, that's the thing. The conversation, we talk a lot before we even seen each other. So it was like conversation. She was like, why you asking me so many questions? Because I'm trying to really get to know you. And that thing is, which I learned now, looking back, that's also repels some people. Because some people didn't want to answer those questions. They were saying, oh, well, you doing too much. Why you want to know that? Why you in my business? Hey, I need to see where the future holds. And you just try to stick to right now. But I'm looking far.
That's good.
And you trying to see what you invested in.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what would you consider some of those qualities?
Qualities is definitely, like I said, he said a lot, but communication, soft with your words, just soft mannerisms. Like, you know how to speak, you know how to smile, you know how to interact with people. It's like not everything is me against the world. Those things. Like some women like always like, why? You be like, hi. Speaking of like the hey beautiful, it could be somebody on the street. How you doing? You look beautiful today. Why you say I'm beautiful? You ain't look somewhere else? Like, whoa. So women, another thing. And my boy Willis said it in the other video. He'll approach you anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, facts.
But are you ready for the approach? Because if it's, oh, don't slide in my DMs. But what if the man coming to you, you look nice today? I would like to get to know you. Yes or no? Keep it moving, whatever. But you ain't got to come off negative to him. I'm not interested right now. Okay.
Or entitled, like that man even had to approach you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you don't even get a thank you. So I got this thing where I be like, you welcome. You welcome. God.
Yeah, you're right. Wow.
Ooh.
So women, how are you acting in these ages? You talk about the men. What are you doing? Are you repelling the potential mate?
That's a good question.
That's good, Mark.
So, based on what y'all just touched on, do men prefer soft, tough women? And can y'all explain the difference?
I need some softness. I don't mind you being able to hold your own, but I don't need that all the time. I don't, because when you tough all the time, you going to be tough against me. And I feel like you're going to bust me upside my head. I don't want no bust. I don't want you punching on me. I don't want brawling you. So the thing is, I need some softness. I always tell people always ask about like different races, cultures, and stuff like that. I've dated a few people. What I learned is the environment. The environment can sometimes shape those people. And it's hard sometimes to combat the environment. So you got to have somebody that's willing to see something different, because they could be tough, because their environment made them tough. But can they soften up? That's the thing. It's nothing wrong with being tough, because some people come from some tough areas, some tough environments. But are you willing, or can you soften up when necessary?
That's good.
Yeah.
For me, I like strong women, but I like submissive as well. So I need somebody that's submissive and soft, but I can see that she can hold her own if I'm not around. You know what I mean? If something happened to me, she can hold the family down. You know what I mean? We good.
I'm laughing. You know who really type is?
Here we
I'm
go.
gonna tell you.
Here we go with this.
Willie's a Michelle Obama.
Fact.
Boy, he be trying to find a Michelle Obama for a long time.
But when Michelle first came out, I was like, boy, look at her. Look at her. Listen to her talk, Mark. Listen to her.
Boy,
Her
Barack,
speeches.
I'm praying because you know, ain't
Barack
right.
got him one.
Ain't right.
Barack got him one, man.
So for Willie, you need more of the balance.
Yeah, I need more of the balance. Like, she's strong, but she know how to be soft, too.
Okay. So what how would y'all explain the difference? What would categorize a woman as soft and what would categorize her as tough? Babe, you kind of touched on it a little bit with the whole environment piece, but just personality traits, if y'all can kind of break that down a little bit.
Pretty much what we were saying a while ago about the how she know how to present a conversation or something like that.
Yeah, the conversation is definitely, and when you interact, you know when you can find out, make a person mad and see how they react. Long as they happy, things going good. I stopped doing it, but I used to just try to make a woman mad for any reason, just to see how they would react.
Testing her?
Boy.
How it work out?
Boy, it was some heated time. But that showed me, because if you like, intenseness, man, you be like, oh, I don't want to see that. So I stopped doing it. I stopped doing it, but I used to do it because you need to see somebody from all different angles. Mm-hmm. Because the thing is, if a person is always happy and you never had an argument, never got them upset, what's going to happen when it goes wrong? Boy, that stuff been bottled up. That person might explode. You might have a killer in your house.
Sleeping with the enemy.
Take your time, get to know these people.
Yeah, you might have a killer, but it's all about, how they handle stuff, man. Like, you would know, like, me, I was not the woman that cursed. That thing, even when I used to curse, I just could not take it. when a woman used to curse, it used to drive me crazy. So that thing right there, that was a no for me as far as it out. So it's those things. So you know how they talk and all that stuff. Like, your mannerisms, and take all that into effect.
Yeah, like an elegant woman, man. She
Oh.
walk in the room, she just flowing. I like that, man. That's my type. Look at her.
Based on what y'all just said, how do you feel like men can contribute to women being soft and being that woman that can walk in a room without the weight of the world on her?
I feel like, what I said earlier about, paying the bills and stuff like that, like having her in her domains with taking care of the house, and, bills is stressful. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you have to get up for work every day, that's stressful. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't want to get up for work. So if she don't have that to deal with, maybe that could lighten the load a little bit. I don't know.
Well, they might want you to touch on their emotions.
Yeah, I got work on that. I ain't gonna lie, I got work on that.
The emotions. Because he be like, you work all the time. But what about me?
Like, I don't know. Let's go ahead.
So what you say, babe?
So mine is about finding the love languages. Mm-hmm. So when you know how to, what makes that woman tick, you can start to, navigate through and see what can soften her up. Why is she that hard? Does she have to be? Is she hard because she has to be hard naturally, or is it just her situation right now? Mm. So when you find out if she's just hard because she has to be, like Willie was saying, you try to take that away. soften that, bring her into your world and lighten the load so she ain't got to be that hard. Now, if she slowly starts to give it up, then you know that she's willing to be in that relationship. Now, she's combative because some people are still combative because that's all they know. That's what they're used to. So it might take some time. Now, the thing is, you got to have good conversation along the way to say, yo, this is not working for me. I like you, but you're just combative all the time. I need for you to try to work. So I'm not your enemy. I'm here for you, and see where that goes.
Like the last video, you ain't got to be in survival mode your whole life. That survival mode, man. It'll run a lot of men off.
Ooh, that's good.
Wow.
That's real good. So, what are some ways that women can let men know that they're available, that they're interested, without having to be the aggressor?
So, I had a conversation with somebody. A lot of women, we're going to go biblical. Ruth put herself in the field. She didn't take her clothes off. She presented herself. She positioned herself. So if you like a particular thing or want a man in a particular arena, position yourself in that arena. If you know you like sports, you want somebody that likes sports, go to the games. You never know. Somebody might be single going to the game by himself. Those things. If you like museums, go to the museums. So a lot of times women, I feel like sometimes just want a man that's to fly out of the air and God that's going to drop them right in their house, knocking at their door, say, I'm available, and you're available too. That's not work. So even, like I said, even biblically, she positioned herself. All of a sudden, Boaz showed up. And he's like, oh, hold on. Who's that? That's Ruth. Such and such, Oh, she look kind of good. So that's what you gotta do. You ain't gotta be butt naked. You ain't gotta be, how you doing? I wanna be with you. All that stuff. You just gotta, you gotta use your femininity to bring that man to you. You know what I mean? In a way, and I think that's what women are kind of lacking a little bit. Y'all have the power to draw the man to you. The thing is, you also have the power to repel the man away. So you got to use your power for good.
Well,
I'm gonna say you right with the biblical, and but I'm gonna shorten it, and I'm gonna just say a little innocent smile. Innocent smile, a wave. How you doing? If he interested, he gonna spark that conversation off of that alone. But if you looking mad, upset, your face is bent up, of course he's not gonna approach you. So an innocent smile, hey, how you doing? Acknowledge him. That's all you gotta do to show him that you're interested. So that's telling him, okay, she's interested in a conversation with me, at least. So let me push up.
I agree. And I will always tell women too that you have to manage the art of flirtation. Like that's based on what my husband, that's your superpower, right? That's, you can use that and you get to decide what level you're gonna take it to, right? Yeah. So it can be a genuine just, oh, I like that color on you. That's a nice jacket. Man, them some nice shoes. Yeah. And then you'll get the vibe of the man. If he unavailable, he'll just be like, oh, thank you, and kind of go about his business. But most men will, again, women don't do that often, so that's already a standout. And two, if he's actually interested or was looking at you too, he not gonna pass up that moment to engage with you.
Not at all.
So I definitely agree with that. But women have to be more bold in their approach without,
Overstep.
just yeah. but just kind of putting it out there that you are approachable, you are interested, and I always tell women, and I say this to men too, but women for sure, you have to have something to talk about. Like, have hobbies, have things you do, because when it's time to have a conversation, what you gonna talk about? I can't stand people sitting on the phone ain't talking about nothing. Texting, text message dry. Like, you don't have no life.
Yeah.
You don't know what you like to do. You don't know what you don't like, what you do like. So that would be my encouragement. What you gotta say, babe?
I agree.
And it's okay to work on your. A lot of times we as people we done lost a lot of social skills. So it's okay to tell yourself, okay, let me practice my social skills. You know what I mean? Just whether you're doing it in the mirror by yourself. Sorry, ain't nobody there but you.
You remember what we were talking about the other day? When we were younger? We used to just talk to girls.
Facts.
Have lines on the phone. Craziness. But now it's really different.
Yeah.
All right. So I believe I only have one more question. So as a man and just dealing with life and whatever you've experienced or been through, how would you address trauma that you've experienced from your past with either your spouse or somebody you see as your spouse? And before you answer, I want to take it from both sides. So you as a man being comfortable enough, obviously, to share things, but also as a woman, because women have a problem of oversharing or sharing too early. So kind of touch on that a bit for us. Addressing trauma. What's a good time for a woman to share with you and vice versa?
I think there's definitely a too early time. You shouldn't come into first date dropping, he did this, she did that. Cause man, you scaring the dude or the girl off. Like she's like, hey, this is what this is early. So I think it should be when you see yourself a little bit long term, you should have some investment into this thing, like where, because you ain't just want people carrying all your stuff around too, and they're not gonna be around. So you don't just want to be delivering that and this people in the street. Well, this didn't work. Did you know? Did you know she? Did you know he? Nah. So definitely seeing yourself long term with that person, and just being able to have the conversation. Get prepared, because everybody has some kind of trauma. So it's just it's a deeper. I feel like it's a deeper time frame that you need to be with that person to share it.
Okay.
Absolutely. I agree with him, and not only to piggyback off of what he said, you said that they'll run the guy off, right?
Oh yeah, coming in the first date.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, not only can you run them off, but you could also give up some important information that could be used against you.
Yeah.
There's some wolves out here. If you telling me, oh, I've been abandoned, or he never helped me with this, and this. If I'm a player and I just wanted something from you, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna give you all them things. Exactly. So you gotta watch out for that too. So never really go into it too fast, telling somebody all your business.
So what about when would you know that it's time? Because if you considering this person your potential mate, there is a time that this should be a talk. And we do have people that don't have these serious conversations, and it show up in your marriage. It show up in your children.
Yeah.
So when is a good time to actually address trauma, your past, how you grew up, and how those things had an effect on you?
I say when you feel like things is going to the next level, before you get in a relationship, I feel like y'all should have that talk like, me personally, I got abandonment issues. I know that, I got abandonment issues. My dad wasn't there. My mom was always working all the time. So, I just felt alone a lot of times. So that's one of my things. So I will present that to somebody before we get into a relationship. You get what I'm saying? Like 6 months in, if I'm feeling her, we want to take it to the next level. I'm gonna say, hey, look, these is my. I know you done seen all the good things, but these are some of my flaws that I have.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And hopefully she paying attention to that throughout the whole time that we talking anyway.
Right.
Yeah. And actually, some things I presented before we got married, and some things have came after. It's all about timing. I can't say each person's timing might be a little bit different. I feel like nothing's gonna come all at once.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna drop everything. It's gonna take time. Even after being married, they say, you get married, some things that's come out all of a sudden, like they feel like, oh, I can release this. You still gotta even take your time during that time because you be like, oh Lord, So you gotta. It's all about time. Pray about it. Seek God when to present these things because they're heavy things, and they're heavy things. Some things are more heavier than others, and then some things might not need to be presented.
I agree.
So, and go to counseling. Seek therapy.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Amen to that. So I remember our leaders, they talked about, that's their testimony, right? The things that they've been through. And one of the things that stuck out with me and a lot of other people just based on conversation was how our prophetess, how our bishop was medicine to her. Like the Lord used him to help her heal, right? So I think that's pretty much what this question is based off, because when you do life with somebody, they are a part of you. They become a part of you. So if they have a thorn in their side, as the Bible say, so do you. Yeah. Because you can't be your best self when you got your past trauma, pain, depression, all these things weighing you down. So in reality, if you don't make room for that person to be able to trust in you and confide in you and, be able to kind of pour out those things to you, then you better believe it's wreaking havoc in your relationship. And you can get a much better version of that person, man or woman. So I think it's very important to deal with your traumas, like you said, with therapy and counseling, but also really having a mate that you feel comfortable enough to share those things with. Now, if you're just a person that just tell all your business to everybody, then, obviously, you just put your trust in everybody, and that never ends well. Because best believe you're gonna sow it on the wrong. You're gonna cast your pearls to swines, one way or another. But in general, you can't be closed off either. Because if you're a person that never share, never open up, never volunteer information, then that you stay in that bondage, and it affect your family, it affect your life, your relationship, your communication, everything.
Yeah, I agree.
The Bible says, husbands, dwell with your wife according to the knowledge that you know about them, that your prayers may not be hindered. So I always use that scripture not only in that context, but in people context. You got to try to deal with people according to the knowledge that you know about them. So when they present certain things that you feel like that's a little bit off, ask a couple questions. Dig a little deeper. Don't just jump to like, oh, they tripping. Nah, it's a reason they tripping. It's deeper than what you might see.
Facts.
So. Yeah. Okay.
This was good.
This was really good. I enjoyed this, and I'm sure the people will too. So, gentlemen, thank y'all for coming back for
thank you
2.0 of A Man's Point of View. And y'all don't send no more questions. I don't think it's gonna be a part 3. But we love y'all. We gonna see y'all next time. Give my people the deuces, y'all.